Do you believe it's the government's responsibility to provide financial assistance to illegal immigrants? And secondly, do you believe programs like this one could actually potentially strain city resources?
Not only will this provide families with the ability to purchase fresh food of their culturally relevant diets and the baby supplies of their choosing, but the pilot program is expected to save New York City more than $600,000 per month, or more than $7.2 million annually.
What's going on, crew? Welcome back to the show, The Maverick Conservative. Before we get into the news, I'm just going to ask. Crew, you already know what to do. But if this is your first time here, I'm going to ask if you could be ever so kind as to drop a token in the tip cup by hitting that like and subscribe button. Your support fuels the journey, and I'm forever grateful. Now, let's go ahead and get into the news. Have you guys seen this? New York City to start $53 million program that will hand out prepaid credit cards to illegal immigrants. New York City, under direction of Mayor Adams, is set to begin a $53 million program to give illegal families who have arrived in the Big Apple a prepaid credit card. The immediate response program, which will be run by New Jersey company Mobility Capital Finance, will begin by giving around 500 illegal immigrant families a credit card to pay for food. The New York Post reported the pilot program will replace the food service offered to them at a short-term shelter set up at the Roosevelt Hotel. Why do you think they're actually doing this? I'm curious to know. There's got to be a reason. I understand the humanitarian aid side of it. You want to help people, but there's people who can't get onto that program, and they've tried. And, those are U.S. citizens. And I find it a little bit odd that, someone could come here illegally and get so much from the U.S. taxpayer. It doesn't make any sense to me, but, the article goes on to say, the initiative will work like the state's food assistance program, and illegal immigrant families will be instructed to only use the prepaid cards at grocery stores, convenience stores, and supermarkets. How well do you think that's going to work? Really? Because, I've been in the hood. We know that people take the card and they're able to walk up, to somebody at the checkout line and say, listen, if you give me $100, I'll give you $200 worth of food stamps. That game's been played for a very long time. So you really think that they're actually going to use this at the bodegas or at the places that they're saying that they're only allowed to use this at? Come on, guys, let's get real. Right. The card will be refilled every 28 days, and families have to sign an affidavit promising to spend the credit card funds only on food and baby supplies. Yeah, like that's really going to happen. Funds on the credit card will vary depending on the size of the family, but a family of 4 could receive up to $1,000 a month, according to the Post. I don't think this program is going to work, but I'm tired of talking. I got the footage, so let's roll it.
Well, questions being raised tonight about a new pilot program that'll give migrant families a reloadable prepaid credit card to buy food and baby supplies.
All right, it would replace the food boxes given to asylum seekers staying in hotels. Fox 5 just...
I don't mean to stop this at the beginning, but I did hear illegal immigrants were complaining that they didn't like the food inside of the food box. So let's just go ahead and give them some funds so they can go ahead and buy their own food. It's from where I'm hearing that's how it started. You guys let me know in the comments if you heard something similar to that.
Formoso has more on how it would all work.
Some migrant families will soon be given prepaid credit cards to buy food and baby supplies. The mayor's office says the city is partnering with Mobility Capital Finance to launch a more cost-effective program. Right now, the city has contracts with food services who provide non-perishable food boxes to shelters. They will start with 500 migrant families with children in short-term hotel stays. The cards can only be used at bodegas, grocery stores, supermarkets, and convenience stores.
We're just giving this migrant population more free stuff at the expense of New York City taxpayers.
Agreed. In a statement, the mayor's office says, in part, quote, not only will this provide families with the ability to purchase fresh food of their culturally relevant diets and the baby supplies of their choosing, but the pilot program is expected to save New York City more than $600,000 per month, or more than $7.2 million annually.
I'm not going to be thankful that a program that was bloated and inefficient is somehow cheaper to just give away free money to people in the hopes that they feed themselves.
According to the New York Post, this pilot program will cost the city $53 million. The amount loaded on the card will depend on the family size.
They're deflecting attention away from their incompetency, and they're not holding accountable the people that had prior contracts.
Paramalu is with artists, athletes, and activists. He says the Adams administration is setting up the migrants for failure.
Purchasing.
No, I would actually argue against that. I believe you're setting yourself up for failure by coming into the country illegally. I don't understand the entitlement. How do you go to another country, cross their border illegally, and demand of their government to provide for you? And what reality does that make sense? All right, crew, we just got finished listening to that. I'm going to hold my comments to the end. But for right now, let's get up into these digital streets and start hearing from the people and what they have to say about this topic. Let's get into these comments. First commenter says, why don't we Americans get that money? We pay our taxes every year. I can appreciate what he's saying. I do think that the tax code needs to be overhauled, but that isn't really what this is talking about. I mean, what I see is the frustration of someone who says, hey, listen, we're, tax-paying citizens, and there are programs out there that we've been asking for, and we're not getting them. People are constantly talking about there's no money in the budget, but all of a sudden there's money to send to Ukraine and to all these other places, and now to people who don't even belong here. I'm not afraid to say it, and I don't think I'm any one of the phobias that the liberal left likes to put on people who disagree with the invasion that we're facing at the border right now. So I can definitely see where this brother is coming from. But take a look at this follow-up, because you're already fortunate enough to be born and raised in America. Duh. Shaking my head. People are slow. All right, that right there. That comment right there is what pisses me to flip off. I mean, that shit literally fries my potatoes. While I can agree with you that we are fortunate enough to be born in America, I'm not going to run away from that fact. It's objective reality. We're definitely fortunate to be here. Where I disagree with you at, brother, is the overall point that you're trying to make. I'm going to tell you right now, not everybody that's born in America is born into a financially stable family. Money problems can hit anyone at any time. So I disagree with the narrative you're trying to push right there, brother. Another commenter says, sign an affidavit that the cards will only be used for food, as if they will abide by that. They're already breaking the law by being here and potentially breaking other laws. Unless the cards are programmed to fail on non-essential items, I do not see this working that way. I can certainly agree with that. I actually alluded to that earlier in the video. I'm telling you, what people do is they go to the person that's in the checkout line and they say, hey, listen, you got $100. I'll give you $200 worth of groceries. Just let me pay for the groceries off of this card, and then you give me $100 cash. So now I have the cash to go do whatever else I wanted to do. That's how that game is played, in case you didn't know. But everyone from the hood, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's how that shit works. Another commenter says, break the law by illegally entering the country and get rewarded for it. What could possibly go wrong? Clown emoji, mad face. I don't know, brother. I can think of a whole host of things that could probably go wrong. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Give me some reasons or some things that you believe that could possibly go wrong with a program like this. Another commenter says, first, give them to our homeless first. What the hell? This is outrageous. And how are they going to enforce the spending on food and baby supplies? I get that a lot of people are saying New Yorkers voted for this, so they deserve it. A lot of you did. You let that TDS get in the way and cloud your judgment. But he goes on to make a point here. But what about those of us who didn't? That's tough, man. Elections have consequences, but a lot of people in that state did vote for this. It's really tough. I don't know what to say about that. I think all of the indigent and low-income families should rise up and demand this be offered to them first. This administration has proven yet again that American citizens are not important. This brother right here has an absolute valid point. It does seem a bit unfair, doesn't it? I believe that any country as wealthy as America, with its large tax base, right, should take care of the citizens first. You take care of everyone that's within our borders first. If there's anything left over, you want to do some humanitarian aid, fine. You vote on it and the money goes out to wherever the people decide that it should be going out to. But to have these politicians and these bureaucrats, throw this policy in our face and make us feel like we're second-class citizens in our own country is unacceptable. So I feel this brother right here. You guys let me know how you feel in the comments. Okay, this last commenter says, no administration is more anti-American than this current one. I hope the 81 million voters have a change of heart in November. And I couldn't agree more, but I also feel like I highly doubt it. There's actually 30% of the voter base, according to all these polls, that believe that the Biden administration is actually doing a good job. So I don't know what that means. I really don't trust the polls. All I'm going to say is the polls have Trump up winning right now. But I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, do not be complacent. If you've left the Democratic plantation like I did a couple of years back, make sure that you show up and vote this election cycle. It has to be done. Bring a friend with you. We cannot let socialism and communism take over our country. You already see what's starting to happen now. If you want a brighter future, we got to vote these people out of office. In addition to that, I urge you, don't just wait to the presidential election. Start local. Start at your school board, right? Start at any local election that's in your community. Start there. If somebody has these weird ass liberal socialism, communistic ideas, did I just make up a word? Ideas about communism, right? Don't even give them the opportunity to even start having a platform. Nip that in the bud as soon as it rears its ugly head, and it all starts with your local elections. Don't even give them the opportunity. Okay, here's my take on this whole situation. I get the whole compassion thing, but handing out debit cards to illegal immigrants, that doesn't sit right with me. To me, it's just asking for trouble. It's like sending a message to the entire world like, hey, come on over to America and we're going to take care of you. And my question is, what about the people who actually went through the proper channels to get here? What about them? And seriously, how the hell do you plan on making sure that they only use this card for essentials? Don't you think it's a bit naive to believe that everybody's going to follow the rules? After all, they did break the law to get here in the first place, right? Plus, what about our own struggling citizens? Shouldn't they come first? Dumping loads of cash on people who don't even belong here just doesn't sit right with me. Let's help those who actually played by the rules and who are in genuine need. And I believe that that starts with the American citizen. All right, crew, that's it for Digital Streets, but I got a question for you. Do you think Mayor Adams is actually making the right call, or do you have reservations about this program? Also, how would you handle things if you were in Mayor Adams' shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, make sure you hit the like button and please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, check out my other videos. Until I see you next time, I'll catch you in the comments. I'm gone.